Hi everyone, this is Cindy from Two Crafty Little Sisters. Thank you for joining us for today's project. We'll be making a cute little Valentine card with the Penny Black So Love stamp set, Hampton Arts Love Words, and the Hero Arts Snowy Trees. So let's get started. For the base card, I cut a piece of Neenah cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. For the red cardstock, I cut it at 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And for the white Neenah cardstock, I cut that at 3 7/8 and 3 7/8. I then used my MISTI and took the stamp to stamp it onto my white cardstock using Memento black ink. Memento is copic friendly and works great. So I got my image all stamped up. And now I'm going to do some masking so I can put the trees in the background. I used Inkadinkado stamp mask paper, which works really well for larger images. If it's smaller images or if I need multiple images, I sometimes use the 3M full sticky post-it notes. Those work really great also. Usually the sticky paper, masking paper lasts about 4 or 5 times, so you do get a good value out of it. I took some of the masking paper and just cut what I thought was kind of a hill and masked that off so I could do the trees. Because I was on a flat surface, I decided to use a stamping pad so I could get a better impression. So the first thing I did was the one tree, I used the background stamp because this is a color layering stamp set. And I took my green ink, inked up the stamp, and then stamped off once on a scrap piece of paper because I didn't want the full, I wanted a lighter color ink for the background layer of the tree. And then I just stamped a couple of times wherever I wanted to have some trees in the background. And then for the second layer, I took one of the second layering and I used full strength ink and stamped it right over the top of the base tree. And sometimes because it doesn't get right up to the masking paper, I like to take a little brush and just dab some of the ink straight on there so that it gets right into the little crevice of the masking paper. And then I removed all the masking paper. And next comes my coloring, and I used copic markers. And I should mention that this video is speeded up so that it can go a little faster, so I do not color this quickly. So I like to color in the whole background of the sky with the lighter color, lighter blue color. And then go over it with a darker color to give it some pop and dimension. And then I went back over it with the lighter blue color just to kind of blend it out and smooth it out. Then I colored all the butterflies in the base coat of B21 and then added some highlights with B02. And then smoothed it out again with B21. And the same thing with the red heart. Now the red did bleed a little bit outside the line, so I used my colorless blending pen to kind of push it back in. I gave the puppy a base coat of E11. And then to start some shading, I used E15. So my puppy can look like it's got some dimension to it. And then added some E13 to bring that color out a little bit more. And then went back to the E11 to blend it all in. And I kind of looped outside the line there a little bit, so I used my colorless blender to push the color back in. And then I just added some more blue around the heart where I had fixed it from earlier. For the flowers, I used Y11 for the whole flower. And then I used the Y19 just to give it a little bit of pop and dimension to it. I used Y99 just to kind of color in the grass. And then for the collar, I colored it all in with N2 and then used N4 to put in some shadows, and then N2 again just to blend her all in. And then to put the card together, I took the red cardstock, or red cardstock, put that on the card, kind of centered it, and then put my image on top. And then I needed to stamp the sentiment, so I used my Misty, got that all lined up, and I used the Hampton Arts Love Words to stamp my sentiment with red ink. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make this cute little Valentine puppy card. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Bye for now.